Thank you, is basically saying, what does that vision mean? He's trying to figure out in his heart, what is the meaning of that vision? Right. You've decided the meaning was you can eat anything. Right. You, as the Christian today, have already decided the meaning of the vision. Right. You, I'm gonna call you Prince David. You said that it's talking about food. So why is Peter doubting what is the meaning of the vision? Right. Read on.
Behold, the men which were sent from Cornelius had made inquiry for Simon's house and stood before the gate.
What verse you in?
18.
Jump down 28. To 27.
Verse 27. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together.
You probably
and he said
25.
unto them,
go to 25.
It's showing who he's talking to.
And as Peter was coming in, Cornelius met him.
Here we go.
And fell down at his feet and worshipped him. Oh, wow, that's another cut. Cornelius bowed down and worshipped Peter. So what? So now is Peter the Most High God? Is he on the same level now?
Watch. Read.
Can I read it on? But Peter took him up, saying, Stand up, I myself also am a man. And as he talked with him, he went in and found many that were come together. And he said unto them, Ye know how that it is an unlawful thing for a man that is a Jew to keep company or come unto one of another nation.
That's what we talking about.
Right.
Comes down, all types of diverse creatures in the sheet.
Right.
The Spirit is like, eat. I've never eaten anything common or unclean.
Right.
Eat. Never. Eat. Nah. Take my sheep back. Now I see all these people. Read.
God. But God has showed me that I should not call any man common or unclean.
Peter just told you the meaning of the vision.
Right.
Any more on that in 28?
God, read it on. Therefore came I unto you without gainsaying. As soon as I was sent for, I asked therefore, for what intent ye have sent for me.
So you can only have one purpose of Acts 10. Christians, y'all cannot use Acts 10 to justify food and justify all nations being saved.
Yeah, you can't do it.
It can only have one meaning.
Yeah.
Is it about food or is it about justifying all nations?
Right.
And that's why he caught again.
And that's why they stopped using that for that.
And then Peter had to think about my backing. And Peter had to think about what Solomon said. This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3 and verse 18. I said in my own heart, concerning the estate of the sons of men, that God might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts.
What a precept. Proving you that those animals in that sheep was representing men. Now, it's not representing the heathen. Y'all cut with that.
Right.
Get out of here. It's not talking about the heathen. What is crooked cannot be made straight.
That's right.
Edom is going to be destroyed. Are you telling me Acts 10 is justifying Edom, but the same person in Acts is bringing up Esau being hated later? That don't make no sense. Cut. Don't even try that. It's talking about the northern kingdom brothers who Hosea said, leave them alone. We taught it last night.
We did it.
Who was, the Lord done pushed them away. It's talking about bring them back among the commonwealth of Israel.
When the king was bringing out, when he was saying that it was a cut in Acts chapter 10, all right, and 25, if you would have went up to Acts 10 and 24, it gets deeper. It gets deeper because that's how you cut that. I don't want to go there into another class, but that's how you cut that Cornelius, all right, and his kinsmen, all right, because in verse 24, it tells you that these are Cornelius' kinsmen. Right. It lets you know that they're Israelites. Okay?
That's right.
You got to.
There's
a lot of cuts in Acts 10,
and it tells you where they're from.
There's a lot of cuts in Acts 10.
It tells you where they're from.
In verse 1.
Yeah, in verse 1,
that's
where they're from, and that's a city in Samaria. That's a territory of an Israelite. That's right. Hey, this James 1 and 1, right? Talking about that four-corner sheep.
Right.
Yeah. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greetings. So the reason why you got to go into all nations is because the Israelites are scattered into all nations.
That's right.
So all four corners of the earth. Yep. So that's why it's a vision of Peter. The vision means something that's being given to Peter.
That's right.
There's those animals on that four-corner sheet. Yep. And it's descriptive of it on a sheet, man.
Right.
those various variety of animals, those are men that are on that vessel that represent the children of Israel scattered abroad to all 4 corners of the earth.
On the 4 corners.
4 corners of the earth.
Is that going to the same inclusion that when it comes to salvation and everything as well?
He was pretty much, so we were told to leave the northern kingdom alone because of their idolatry.
Right.
Okay? All right, so the Israelites were looking at the northern kingdom as Gentiles. Okay? So when he says, I'm not to call any man common or unclean, he's saying, hey, look, okay, as a brother in the Lord, you got to teach these men too. These are your brothers.
Right.
Okay? Because we were commanded not to mess with the northern kingdom.
These are your brothers.
Understand?
Southern kingdom what?
Yeah,
the southern, the Jews. Right?
Okay.
All right? So he's telling them you're not to mess with, that you can't have that mentality of not teaching your northern kingdom brothers and sisters.
Right.
Because Cornelius and his kinsmen were from the northern kingdom of Israel.
That's right.
Okay.
That's
We
why
find that in verse number 1. Okay.
And
we find it in verse number 1 because Cornelius and his kinsmen are from Caesarea.
Right, Caesarea.
Okay, and when you look at it, you get that breakdown of Caesarea being where the northern kingdom dwells.
Yeah, that's a city. That's a city in Samaria.
Samaria, right?
Right, and Samaria is a territory that's. And how we know that Samaria is a territory? Get John chapter 4. How we know Samaria is an inheritance of the northern kingdom, right? Who's of the northern kingdom? You have Ephraim,
right?
Who's of the tribe of Joseph. Ephraim, Manasseh. These are 2 sons of Joseph, right? These are 2 half tribes, because Joseph was given a double portion. Go to John chapter 4 and start at verse 5. The book of John chapter 4 and verse 5. Then cometh he to a city of Samaria. So now Christ is coming to a city in Samaria, which is called Sychar. Near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Hey, and it's near to the parcel of ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph.
Right.
So we know this is an inheritance, a territory of the northern kingdom, because this was given to Joseph by his father Jacob, or Israel. Now,
hey, that's a cut, man.
And now, naturally, Joseph is going to pass this on to who? His children.
That's right.
And their children. And their children.
Right.
Which is why you have territories and inheritances that the tribes of Israel got. Right? Read. Now, Jacob's well was there. Jacob's well. Why is Jacob's well there? Because this is an inheritance passed on from Jacob to Joseph.
Right.
Or who you would surmise as Ephraim and Manasseh. Read. Jesus, therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. There cometh a woman of Samaria. So there came a woman of that place, of Samaria. That means she's native to that place. And she is of the people native to that place. Now, who's native to the place of Samaria? The northern kingdom. Right? Read. To draw water. Read. Jesus saith unto her, give me to drink. Read. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then said the woman of Samaria unto him, how is it that thou, being a Jew, askest drink of me? So now we understand why the Samaritan woman, the Samaritan, is asking Christ, why are you asking me? How are you even sitting with me, being that you're a Jew?
How would it off the sea?
Right? Because we understand what a Samaritan is. A Samaritan is someone who's of the northern kingdom.
That's right.
Hey,
right? We proved that right here.
Watch this. Hey, go to Acts 10 and read where Cornelius is from. Hey, you do with this what you want. This might not be the verse I want, but I'm just the one the Lord showed me. This is what I'm going to use.
This book of Acts chapter 10 and verse 28. And he said,
no, one.
Oh,
I want where Cornelius is from.
Oh, Con, there was a certain man in Caesarea called Cornelius, a centurion of the band called the Italian band.
He was of the Italian band, right? Read this.
It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 7. And I will feed the flock of slaughter. Even, no, Slaki, that's not it. That one, verse
4.
Con, verse 4. Right here. It's the book of Zechariah, chapter 11 and verse 7.
Okay.
And I will feed the flock of slaughter, even you, O poor of the flock. And I took unto me 2 staves.
That's 2. That's northern and southern kingdom. Come on.
The one I call beauty,
And what did you call the other one?
And the other I called bands.
Ooh.
And I fed the flock.
Now that's Northern and Southern Kingdom.
Right.
Cornelius is from the Italian band, Northern Kingdom. There you go right there.
Because that's what they follow their customs after. Why is it taboo for a Jew to sit with someone who's from Samaria? Right. Because someone who's from Samaria is of the Northern Kingdom.
Said, leave them alone.
And a person of the Northern Kingdom who the Lord told you to leave alone is for a reason. They follow after the heathen. They keep the customs of heathen and they do idolatry. Read. You want me to jump down to verse 11? Verse 11. Verse 11. The woman saith unto him, the woman said, this Samaritan woman says unto Christ, who is a Jew, read.
Sir, thou hast nothing to draw with, and the well is deep.
Hey, the well is deep, read.
From whence then hast thou that living water?
Read.
Art thou greater than our father Jacob?
Art thou greater than who?
Our father Jacob.
So she's showing you that me and this Jew, me being a Samaritan and this Jew, we had the same father, Jacob, who is the progenitor of the 12 tribes.
And you can't get around it.
And you can't get around it.
You're stuck now.
You're stuck.
So the doctrine remains the same, Northern and Southern Kingdom.
Welcome to the Truth of Yah. The Truth of Yah's board game's mission is to humble the world in the truth of Yah. The Truth of Yah's board game's vision is to build up the poor man and woman in spirit. Many people are deceived by lies, deceits, fraud, pride, forward mouth, arrogance, and evil ways. The poor in spirit are attacked daily. The vision to build up the spirit is to cause people only to walk in the ways of Yahweh, just as his son Yahweh Shai and the prophets did, by not just speaking the word, but by putting every word Yahweh spoke into action.
We're the sons of Thunder Israelites, and it's our heart's prayer and desire that you all get the Truth of Yah game.
Use our discount code SOT for additional savings.
Shalom. All right, let's play, man. Let's get it going, man.
Go ahead, brother. This brother want to say something.
We got the same father, but I don't feel like the word, they hear the word. I don't feel like the word reaches the Northern Kingdom. I never seen the Northern Kingdom person.
We got another Kingdom brother in our camp.
No, like the outside Christian. No, I'm saying like people that walk by, they never stop. You never seen a Northern Kingdom stop and listen.
Y'all all got no excuse. Now we need a Hispanic ministry. They're gonna have to break down some things in Spanish.
90 seconds.
And understand what we teach.
I've never seen it.
Just because you've never seen it doesn't mean that it hasn't happened. But we spoke to our Northern Kingdom brothers.
We need a lesson complete.
Just like we have Northern Kingdom brothers in the camp.
All right. We need that.
Brother, you always come and ask us about why does Northern Kingdom hate us or I have a problem with Northern Kingdom. Why is that?
Did they jump you?
No, I'm saying, you're saying something about Jacob. You're saying we're the same father, but I don't feel... I don't feel like
that's the thing. Your feelings.
It just because you feel. Look, the scripture prophesied that the day will come where Ephraim will no longer envy Judah, and Judah will no longer what's the word? Vex Ephraim. Right. What you're showing right now is we still in a time where Judah is vexing Ephraim. That's
right.
That's all you're doing.
That's all you're doing. You're feeling Deuteronomy 28 and 54.
I mean, look at boxing. Look how furious we fight each other.
Yeah, right.
That's the best fight. Judah and Ephraim. Judah and Issachar.
Yep.
These are the best fights.
Right.
It's just, why does they draw you in? We don't really even want to see Jake fight Edom. We don't really want to see it.
No. Right.
Ephraim. We want to see Issachar and Judah.
Because who's better?
Right. You know? Simeon, Judah.
Simeon, Judah.
Ephraim, Judah.
Because we the same people.
Yeah, you saying that we're one, but I don't see them messing with the blacks. I don't see it.
Brother,
so,
that's your experience.
Change where you standing.
Change where you standing.
I don't see the one stick.
Because change where you stand. If you keep the commandments, you're gonna meet a lot of brothers from the Northern Kingdom that are that stand with you. We got brothers in our camp that are of the Northern Kingdom.
I know in the camp. I'm talking about outside.
Brother, outside is the world. We're not supposed to be a part of this.
We keep the commandments.
You're not a part of this world. Separate from this world. Right. The hell with what they doing out here.
Right.
Come be with the body. That's why you come and stand here. Because here, there's love, man. Don't worry about what they're doing in the world. I see niggas killing each other in the world.
Right.
So now what I'm supposed to say? We don't have the same father?
Right.
But see, the scriptures also tell us that the tents of Judah were going to rise first. So we got to rise up first and teach the northern kingdom. You understand what I'm saying?
I'm not sure.
So they're kind of sprinkled in there. You know what I mean? You got an abundance of northern kingdom brothers in some camps, but we still waking them up, man.
This brother's in where's that in El Salvador, somewhere like that, right?
Recently teaching.
Yeah, that a camp of them brothers teaching.
Yeah, brother, you're going to have to let that go, man.
Judah, Levi, Benjamin. I'm kind of.
All right, well, then the kingdom never going to come.
Right.
Because the tribes got to come together.
Right. They got to come together.
Maybe you got to be the brother to bring them together. Go ahead.
Can someone give me some edification on I heard people talk about the grafting in. All right, they were talking about other nations.
Hey, go to Jeremiah chapter 11, man.
You know how to teach it.
Con.
Y'all listen if y'all don't have these notes.
Go to Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 16.
Y'all want the breakdown? Here it is.
And get Romans chapter, what is that?
11.
Romans 11 and 22.
15, around there.
All
See,
right.
because Jeremiah 11 and Romans 11 is how you can remember it easy.
And also get Ezekiel chapter 37.
You got Jeremiah 11, you got Romans 11.
Okay. And this is, now before we get that, I want to get Acts chapter 26 and verse 22. Okay?
This is
These are precepts you give me.
I know, King. And we'll slow down too, okay? All right, I'm gonna call them out. Okay, we're gonna go to Acts chapter 26 and verse 22 first. This is what we gotta understand. When Paul, when Christ, all right, when the apostles, when they speak, the majority of the time they're speaking, they're quoting the law and they're quoting the prophets. Okay, that's what's really going on. All right, they're not speaking their own words. Okay, the Christian church will tell you that a new thing is coming to the earth, but they're really speaking what the prophets, all right, and the law said. Read that in Acts chapter 26 and 22.
Acts chapter 26 and verse 22.
Uh-huh.
Having therefore obtained help of God, I continue unto this day, witnessing both to small and great, saying none other things.
Saying what?
Saying none other things.
Read.
Than those which the prophets and Moses did say should come.
All right. So the apostles, okay, are not speaking anything different than what Moses and the prophets shall say that says shall come, right? Now read that in Romans.
Romans 11.
Right.
11. God.
Get it on your phone now.
This book of Romans,
Okay.
chapter 11 and verse 15.
Read this.
Start at 14.
14.
Because you got to explain this too.
Right. 14. If by any means I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, and might save some of them.
Now, what people want to... Oh,
Go ahead, Ken.
What people want to do is they want to say, Paul is actually talking about natural heathens. Because why would he talk about them of his flesh? That's the only time they want to acknowledge when he says flesh, is to justify the heathen. When he says Jesus Christ came according to the flesh for the children of Israel, you're shut down.
Romans
now you can't,
they don't want to hear it.
you know, because y'all petty and y'all not fair with the Bible. That's why he was trying to explain to you, the captain was telling you, Paul taught what the prophets say.
That's right.
That means if the prophets say the Canaanite ain't going to be there, Paul was teaching that.
That's right.
If the prophets say Edom going to be destroyed, Paul was teaching that.
Right.
If the prophets say the other nations going into slavery, Paul was teaching that.
That's right.
It's as simple as that. Y'all just trying to remix it. What he means by, if I may provoke to emulation them which are my flesh, look at the them which are. How's that written on? Is it written in italics? In verse 14.
Yeah.
15.
I asked you because I already know.
Gone.
You don't have to doubt.
That's an added.
That means those words were added.
That's right. Yep.
That's why it reads that way. And y'all trying to give it a new meaning.
Right.
He's talking to them.
That's right.
They are those who he's trying to cause to emulate.
That's right.
And save some of them. But go ahead, read on. The way it reads, it could be like he's talking to the Jews, saying, I want the Jews to emulate me because I'm teaching y'all. Right. No.
That's the way
No lands on.
That's the way y'all want that to read.
Right.
That's not correct. Read.
Verse 15. For if the casting away of them be the recording of the world,
Reconciling.
reconciling of the world.
Now, key word reconciling.
Right.
So if I'm reconciling something, okay, that means that it's something that happened, all right, in the past. I did something in the past that needs to be corrected.
Right.
Okay? See, when we're dealing with the Gentiles, okay, and when I say Gentiles, I'm speaking about natural Gentiles. Gentiles of the other flesh. They weren't given the promises.
Right.
Okay, read that again.
To be reconciled.
Con. For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world.
See, if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, okay, read on.
What shall the receiving of them be?
So what shall the receiving of them be? Now, we just got through talking about how we were told not to mess with the northern kingdom.
Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
All right, leave them alone. That's what the scripture says, right? So we're not dealing with the northern kingdom at this time. We're also not dealing with Jews who fell away from the law, okay? We got to include them too, okay? Right. Because they're also sprinkled in Galatia, in Ephesus, right? And all those other places. So you know, there's actually 3, okay? But look, listen, King, listen, King, listen. Right now we're talking about natural-born Gentiles, those that are not Jews, okay? And we're talking about Hellenized Gentiles, right? Those who have gone away from the Most High's law, statutes, and commandments. All right, now we're going to get back on track, okay? All right, read that again.
Con. For the casting away of them being the reconciling of the world.
All right, the casting of them being the reconciling of the world, meaning the world of Israel.
Yes.
Read on.
What shall the receiving of them be?
What shall the receiving of them be? So what shall the receiving of the northern kingdom be? Okay? Those that were going off, the ones who we weren't dealing with. Read on.
But life from the dead. For if the first fruits be holy, the lump is also holy.
So if the first fruits be holy, okay,
that's the Jews.
All right, that's right. Then the lump's also holy. Read.
And if the root be holy, so are the branches.
All right, so if Yahushua, which is the root, be holy, so are the branches. Okay, the northern and the southern kingdom.
Right.
Read.
And if some of the branches be broken off.
And if what?
And if some of the branches be broken off.
And if some of the branches be broken off. Okay. All right, so we got a tree, right? Okay. We got a tree that's grown up. This is an Israelite tree. All right. Now the branches are broken off. This is one tree. One seed planted that tree. Right?
Listen, Elder. Listen.
So if the branches be broken off of this natural tree, this Israelite tree, read on.
And thou being a wild olive tree.
And if thou being what?
Being a wild olive tree.
And if thou being a wild olive tree, read on.
Were grafted in among them.
Were grafted in among them. Now the Christians come in, okay, and they say that the wild olive tree is the grafting in of the other nations.
Yes, that's what they say.
That's what makes it wild, okay? Because it's not natural. This is their sense. What they don't understand is that Paul is quoting Jeremiah.
There
you go. He's quoting Jeremiah. Get that in Jeremiah, kid.
Bring it out.
Bring it out. That's what he's quoting. The olive tree.
I thought you was holding. Okay, read that again, King. Read that again.
For 17.
The scripture you just read.
This is Romans 11.
And if some of the branches be broken off.
And if some of the branches be broken off of this natural tree, this tree that grew up from one seed, the seed of Abraham.
That means those branches were already part of that one tree.
Right? All right? The seed of Abraham. Read on.
And thou being a wild olive tree.
Read.
Were grafted in among them.
Were grafted in among them. All right? Now, the Christians are telling you that this means that other nations can come in.
That's what they say.
But that's coming from a perspective of, all right, somebody who hasn't read the Old Testament.
Yo, brother, hold on.
All
right? Hold on.
That's Satan creeping in.
Right,
okay,
when you get to
the word away.
Right when you get to a.
Okay, listen,
Yo,
we're teaching, okay? I'm teaching my people.
No, don't do that, man.
We're teaching the people, please. Allow me to finish the point.
Yes, sir. My bad.
So when we went into Acts chapter 26 and 22, it told you that they don't teach, the apostles don't teach nothing other than what
the law and the
prophets did teach. Let's hear what Jeremiah got to say.
Jeremiah chapter 11 and verse 16.
Read.
The Lord called thy name a green olive tree.
Read it again.
The Lord called thy name a green olive tree.
Hold on, read verse 2 because we got to see who he's talking to.
Okay.
Because the captain's position was that Jeremiah is talking about Israelites. Prove that. Read verse 2.
Jeremiah 11 and 2. Hear ye the words of this covenant, and speak unto the men of Judah and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem.
So that's what his word is for.
That's the context. That's the context.
Verse 16. The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit, with the noise of a great tumult.
And of what?
With the noise of a great tumult.
Read.
He hath kindled fire upon it. And the branches of it are broken.
And what?
And the branches of it are broken.
What does it sound like? It's the same thing.
That's right.
All right? Paul is quoting the prophet Jeremiah.
You can't get around it.
He told you he's not saying no other thing what Moses and the prophets did speak. Read it again, kid.
The Lord called thy name a green olive tree, fair and of goodly fruit, with the noise of a great tumult.
Read.
He hath kindled fire upon it, and the branches of it are broken.
And the branches of them are broken. The northern and the southern kingdom, they both fell away.
Yep.
Read.
For the Lord of hosts that planted thee.
For what?
For the Lord of hosts that planted thee.
For the Lord of hosts that planted thee. The Most High God chose Israel.
That's his vine which he has kept.
That's right. Out of the 18 nations, he chose Israel.
That's right.
So the Most High God had planted this vine, right? Read on.
Hath pronounced evil against thee.
He's pronounced evil against Israel and Judah. Read on.
God. For the evil of the house of Israel.
For what?
For the evil of the house of Israel.
This is what you got to understand, because Paul is referencing this, right? Who? For the evil of who?
Of the house of Israel. And of the house of Judah.
And of who?
Of the house of Judah.
And
nobody else in that.
Judah.
Right.
Ain't nobody else was in that.
Paul is
Don't say
quoting
nobody else.
Jeremiah.
That's how they getting grafted back in, because they was broken off.
That's
right.
From the original.
And it says it back in Romans. He says he has the power to graft thee in again.
Because you were originally
but you can't get away from reconciliation. How are they getting away from the reconciliation part? In order for you to reconcile,
you had to be a part of it.
You had to be a part of it before.
And you get this, 2nd Esdras chapter 9. You get this. Now watch this, because he brought you the grape, saying that the Most High planted it. That's the vine that he's concerned with, right? Go to 2nd Esdras 9 and read verse 21.
Come on. This book is 2nd Esdras, chapter 9, and verse 21. And I saw, and I spared it greatly, and having kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people.
Watch this.
Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain.
The Bible says that.
Right.
Let the multitude perish which was born in vain.
Right.
And let my grape be kept.
So the Lord just said, let these heathens die.
Right.
But let my grape be kept. It's in the Bible. Read.
And my plant. For with great labor have I made it perfect.
And how did he make it perfect? By grafting them in again.
You have to rewash
You can't do nothing with it.
That's nothing.
Christians ain't not going to discuss this with us.
Right.
They're going to yell at us and command us to believe them.
That's right.
They're not going to walk like we just walked, and with us looking at them and say, now, whose side makes more sense?
Right.
They're not doing that. You know?
Hey, we can go on and on, man. Ezekiel, I like to go into the book of Ezekiel. Hey, go into Ezekiel
35.
chapter 37. Yeah,
Bring that up.
Go to Ezekiel chapter 37 and get verse 11 first. Okay, you know when you go into the book of Ezekiel, it starts talking about the valley of the dry bones, right?
Yep.
Okay, and Ezekiel tells you that the dry bones are the Israelites.
Right.
Read verse 11.
Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 11. Oh, I'm at 36. Ezekiel 37 and 11. Then he said unto me, Son of man, these bones are the whole house of Israel.
Yeah.
Behold, they say, our bones are dried, and our hope is lost. We are cut off of our parts, for our parts.
All right, now, that right there would be the context, okay? That'll be the context. Now drop down to verse 16.
16. God. Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick.
Take thee what?
One stick.
Take thee one stick, brother. Read on.
And write upon it for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions.
All right, for Judah and for the children of Israel, his companions. See, Ezekiel understands that there was a split between the northern and the southern kingdom in the book of 1 Kings chapter 14.
Right.
Okay, he understands that. All right, you know when it was prophesied by the prophet, all right, he ripped up, all right, the garment into 12 pieces, right? Okay.
Ezekiel 37:16.
Read on.
Then take another stick.
Then take what?
Another stick.
Read.
And write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, his companions.
All right, so we understand Joseph, Ephraim will be the house of Israel, okay, the northern kingdom. Read on.
And join them one to another.
And do what?
Join them one to another.
That's the nucleus of the entire Bible.
That's the moral of the story.
That's the moral of the story. This is prophecy. All right, that's what trips me out about the Christians, man. They want to eliminate prophecy.
And to get around prophecy, y'all invented a doctrine called preterism.
Right.
That's terrible.
Meaning everything has already been fulfilled.
Right.
That way you do not have to be responsible for thus saith the Lord.
Right. So now,
see, it's only got a purpose.
So now you put yourself at odds with the apostles and with Peter.
Because they believe in prophecy.
And they believe in prophecy.
And then you find yourself saying Zechariah
is wrong.
Right.
It makes no crazy.
That was madness.
Read on, King.
And join them one to another into one stick. And they shall become one in thine hand.
Read.
And when the children of thy people shall speak unto thee, saying, wilt thou not show us what thou meanest by these? Say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the stick of Joseph, which is in the hand of Ephraim, and the tribes of Israel his fellows, and will put them with him, even with the stick of Judah.
Right.
And make them one stick.
And I'm going to do what?
And make them one stick.
That's right. That's the representation of the 12 tribes chart, right? All right. Now, go down to verse 21.
Yep. And say unto them, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
You're going to do what?
I will take the children of Israel from among the heathen.
So I'm going to pluck, all right, the Israelites out, okay, of the nations.
Right.
And what you think that means? Let the multitude perish, then,
That's right.
which was born in vain.
That's
and
right.
let my grape be kept.
Right.
That's what that's saying.
Read on.
Whither they be gone, and will gather them on every side.
Come on.
And bring them into their own land.
And do what?
And bring them into their own land.
As it was prophesied. Read on.
And I will make them one nation.
And I'm going to do what?
I will make them one nation.
That's what the grafting in is. Okay? That's what the grafting is, brother. Those are the broken branches.
That's right.
Okay? That are being put back together. That's what this thing is all about, King. Okay? That's what this thing is all about.
There shall be no more two kingdoms.
And read that. Read that.
God.
Because this right here, all right, validates our point. Okay, that there was a split between the northern and the southern kingdom.
It's got to come back together.
That's what the middle wall of partition is.
The middle wall of partition got to come down.
That's
too.
right.
It has to.
It got to come down. This brother want to say something here.
My bad. Read this point and then.
And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel.
Right.
And one king shall be king to them all. And they shall be no more two nations.
And there should be no more what?
Two nations.
There should be no more two nations. Ain't going to be no northern and southern kingdom.
Oh,
It's going to be the nation.
it's going to be one nation.
Children of Israel. This ain't got nothing to do, all right, with Jews and Gentiles, natural Gentiles. It's talking about Jews, all right, and Hellenized Gentiles. Israelites that went away from the laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's it.
Those were the Hellenized ones right there.
And Paul is their apostle. He's the apostle to the
Those
Gentiles.
Gentiles.
Shalom. He's been designed, his ministry is designed to recover them.
That's right.
And without Paul's ministry, there would have been no teaching to them.
Right.
It would have stayed with the Jews. They would have been happy to stay amongst themselves.
Right. The teachings of Christ had to reach all of Israel.
So somebody got to go out with it. But then the Catholic Church, so clever, they took this teaching and turned it into a universal doctrine.
Right.
That's what Catholic means, universal. So they said, now we're going to take this teaching designed to recover the outcasts of Israel, and we're going to use it to justify all nations.
Ourselves.
Thank you for watching. You can support the body via Cash App or PayPal. You can also support the channel by joining our Patreon for exclusive videos and content that can't be found anywhere else. We're the Sons of Thunder. It's our heart's prayer and desire for Israel that they might be saved. Shalom.